Hey, this is Rebecca Zook, here with my fabulous student Jessica to do a student interview. All right, so Jessica, would you share with us a little bit about what math was like before you and I started working together?
Yes. Okay. So before we worked together, I was in pre-calculus and algebra 2. It was definitely a very difficult time for me when I was doing math. I didn't understand almost everything, and also I think that had a lot to do with my teacher. They weren't very. She wasn't a very good teacher, and so I had a very difficult time doing homework and understanding what we were supposed to do. So yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, and how did you feel about math when you were in that?
I did not like it. It was my least favorite subject. I'd sit in the back of the classroom and I wouldn't really want to do anything. I wouldn't want to do my homework. I wasn't like inspired to learn that I am now. So yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what math has been like now that we have been working together.
It's changed. A lot has changed. Definitely my emotions towards math. I sit in the front of the class now. I raise my hand. I answer lots of questions and I ask lots of questions. There's been times where I've gone up to the board and written out problems for the whole class, which makes me really happy because it's like I'm learning.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot different. I feel more connected with math, and I want to understand it, and so I can go home and do my homework and just learn from the textbook and from what my teacher told me in my notes, and it's fun.
Yay, this is
Yeah,
so fabulous. Okay, so math is fun, you feel
yeah, it's
connected, you
fun.
feel
So,
inspired, you're like writing
yeah,
on the board, you're like teaching things to the class.
yeah.
Awesome. So, can you tell us a little bit more about what's changed for the better in terms of like your grades and your confidence level and your emotions around that?
Yeah. Okay. So, my math, my grades, my test grades, and my average overall grades are a lot higher than they would be without your tutoring and learning from you. Also, my emotions towards math is a lot different. I like it, as I said before, and it's a lot easier to do something when you like it. So it's it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. It is
Yeah.
so much easier to do something when you like it. That's a really good observation. Words of wisdom from Jessica.
Yes.
Okay. So, is there a moment that stands out in your mind of like before when things were really bad?
Yes, I had a teacher who was not the greatest teacher in the world, and I'd ask her questions, and she wouldn't directly answer them, and she wouldn't help me, and it was really difficult learning from her. And so that was kind of a point where I was really upset, and I really didn't like learning math, and it was just really, really bad. And I think that's the point when I asked my parents to start tutoring, to get tutoring, because it was so difficult, and I was really unhappy.
Okay, I'm glad that you're not in that place anymore, for sure.
Definitely not.
Yeah, and is there like a moment that stands out since we started working together of like kind of like the after, like when you felt really
think,
strong?
yeah, there's definitely been more than one, just one
Yeah.
moment when I've had kind of like aha moments, and you've taught me something. I've been, oh my gosh, like why didn't I know this before? Like it makes so much more sense, and that's really helped me learn math and
Mhm.
make my grades as high as they are now.
Awesome. So I know something that really comes to mind is like at the end of your pre-calculus class last year, you had to do that.
Oh yes,
Could you
yeah.
talk about that a little
Yeah,
bit?
so at the end of my class, our final exam was to do a problem in front of the whole class. So he would just give us the problem, and we'd figure it all out, and it was really difficult.
They were
And
like harder than any problems you've done all year
yeah,
long, and you
all
had to
year.
prepare them and then present them publicly in front of the
Yeah,
entire class.
exactly. And I we rolled a dice, and so we could choose. And there were, I think, 8 problems. Well, we couldn't choose, but fate chose.
Fantastic. Probability.
I remember doing it, and I got the number 3, and it was the hardest question in the packet, and I was so nervous. But I went up there and I did it, and I was able to do everything, and I got an A, I think. Yeah, I got an A, and I was
Yes.
so proud of myself, and it was really wonderful and great.
Yay!
Yeah.
And I remember you told me afterwards, do you remember how you felt walking out of the class?
Like I could do anything.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. Okay. So you talked a little bit about asking your parents for tutoring support, and the teachers you had before.
Mhm.
How is working with me, how has that been different than working with other tutors or math teachers that you've had in the past?
Yeah. Okay. So I think I've only worked with one other tutor, I think. And they'd kind of come to my house and we'd sit at the kitchen table and go through math. But I definitely felt like I wasn't doing it. I think that the tutor did a lot more of the math and tried to explain it to me, which was kind of more difficult because I think you learn better when you do it yourself, and you learn from what you're writing down. And um, yeah. And then also, it's a lot less of a personal connection. Even though this is over Skype, I definitely feel way more
Wait,
connected to
okay, so you're
you.
saying it's like more of we
Oh,
are more
personal with you.
okay, okay.
Even though this is over Skype, I feel so much more connected to you than I ever did to the other tutor. And I think because we go through at the beginning of each session, we go through like updates, and it's really nice to have like someone to talk to, and kind of a mentor to have. Yeah.
Oh, I love mentoring you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, I remember like a while back we were having a session and you said something like, sometimes, Rebecca, it's like you're saying my thoughts out loud. Like, can you talk about that a little bit?
So yeah, we do. Okay, so when we're doing tutoring on the group board, and I'm writing things out, and I don't really know how to express how what I don't understand sometimes. And so there'll be times where I'm writing something out and I'll try to explain it, and then you'll say it again, but in like exactly what I want to say, and it's perfect. And it's just this great connection because you know how I'm feeling, and you're listening to what I'm saying and observing how my actions, so you know exactly what I'm feeling and what I want to do. So I have those like little moments where you say exactly what I need, what I needed you to, and what I wanted you to, which is
Cool.
great.
I'm so glad. I mean, I know like something that always I always struggled with asking for help with math is like when people didn't seem to understand how I felt.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it means a lot to me to hear that you feel like I understand how you feel because it's a big piece of learning something hard.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So, what would you tell a family that was thinking about working with me, but they were like, we don't know, we're not sure. This is sort of scary. Like, what would you
um,
say?
I definitely just go for it. I mean, you never know unless you try.
Mhm.
I think that's how the
Yeah.
saying. And you're amazing, and you've made math so much easier for me, and we've had such a deep connection with both math and personally. And I think that you would do the same thing for other students, and I'm sure you do things for other students. And I think that they should go for it, and it'd be amazing. um, so yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So, I was really excited about this question. If you could travel through time and give a message to your younger self when math was really bad and you were totally struggling, what would you say?
um, Call Rebecca. I'd say don't give up, keep going. It'll get easier if you really try, and I'll definitely practice. Because I know before I really didn't like it, but I think if I had practiced more, I would have understood more, and that would have made it better for me to learn, or easier for me to learn. So yeah, don't give up.
Yeah, and I know that when you said like call Rebecca, it was like kind of a joke, but
No, but
also
it's true. Call
like,
Rebecca.
like I think part of it is like if if you have the right support, then it's easier to not give up.
Definitely.